Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and we are standing in Verona in a beautiful luxury hotel called Vista, and we are in one of their beautiful suites. If you love beautiful Italian design and just eclectic, rich colors, this video is for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe. Verona is a small city in Italy which has multiple layers of architecture from its 2,000-year-old history, such as the Roman architecture or the Gothic architecture. And we are standing in a beautiful, tiny luxury hotel that has 16 bedrooms. The building is very small and very vertical, so you have 6 floors that go up and 1 floor at the bottom that hosts a beautiful spa that I will show you later. So as we enter the beautiful suite, we are already standing in the living room and the dining room area. So the special thing about this hotel is the fact that the outsides are very old-fashioned and rustic, and you just have this historic shell of an old 19th century building, while the inside has been completely renovated in 2022. And this is why you just have this like clash of old and new on the outside and the inside. And I think it has just been masterfully done. As you come in, you still feel the historic spirit and all of the incredible history of Verona. We have a very symmetrical room layout. Right now we are standing in the living room. So over here we have a sofa situation. Come with me. We have a sofa that is also in this rough dark purple texture. And we can see that what is unique about this room is not only its history and its location, but also the beautiful, beautiful color palette that has been used. And that's what I think is unique. Most of the famous designer brands, whether if it's cars, luxury bags, or just historic architects, come from Italy. So the Italians have like a deep and rich design history, and this building pulls from the history. So here we have bold and eclectic colors, and we have these orange dark tapestry that covers the walls, and everything feels old, beautiful, rich in its history. And a lot of the color inspiration, the interior designer and architect of this place is called Maurizio Maggi, and he's actually from Milan. He really created a mix of the old 1920s Art Deco with the 1850s, like more of a glamour style. And all of the colors that have been used here refer to Gio Ponti, a famous architect and designer. And you just have these beautiful and rich and deep muted tones that really just stand for the Italian elegance and sophistication. If we go over here, we can see that everything in this room is very symmetric, and we can just walk through it. And the one room seamlessly flows into the next room. So behind me is the bedroom, and the wall that separates the living room from the bedroom in this suite has an integrated bookshelf that really frames the wall behind me. We have light that masterfully really accents and highlights the design items that are being shown in the cupboard, and I think that that is really beautiful. So here we have all of these lights that create like a lively situation inside the apartment. And here we actually see a lot of elements that really tell the story of Italy. So here we have a book about Lamborghini cars, or here up here we have a book about the history of Versace. And we just really see that you have not just one layer, but really a multitude of layers that tell the story of the place. And other than that, we just have a lot of beautiful vases added as accents, and it's like organic, loose shapes that brighten up and loosen up the design. And what I love about this place is that you just have these beautiful, geometrically structured places. If we have a look at the ceiling, we can see that you still have these old beams. Historically, they would have been the wooden beams, but they look like they're covered in some sort of linen fabric. So you still have like a modern contemporary interpretation of the old style, and that is what I think is really unique. If we have a look outside the window, we can see the beautiful color of Verona, and this is what I always say, that whatever is outside of your window affects your design choices and the design on the inside. So over here we have this beautiful old Italian terracotta wall, and you can see that now the story in this suite actually makes sense. And you just really see that the terracotta wall on the outside of the building has been referenced and interpreted in a more modern approach. On the floor we have just old wood that really grounds you and gives you a feeling that it's been here forever. And now we will go inside the master bedroom. So even though this suite isn't gigantic, it boasts a very generous and really sophisticated and grand design. Behind me we have the master bed. you can see that it is gigantic, and we have this beautiful overthrow that adds another piece of texture and just another shade of beige. In general, the overall color palette is very warm, very muted, rich and earthy colors so that you can relax and calm down. And the reason why this suite feels so substantial is that they really use the structure to create the space and to create the zone. So if we just look at the wall that is behind the bed, we can see that we have all of these different frames inside frames and all of these different structures. So we have the white wainscoting that really frames the terracotta linen wall, and then we have the headboard that, it's not a headboard, but really it's a piece of art with all of these like geometric forms that open up the space and take away of its formality. Next to the headboard, we have again 2 sconces that are mounted on the wall. They have the same geometry as the shapes on the headboard, and because of this, it feels purposefully designed, and the story is told not just in one place, but really in a lot of places, and everything feels really coherent and beautiful. We have 2 windows that beautifully frame the other side and that let you see the beauty of Verona. They are framed by really rich and heavy curtains and another pair of lighter curtains. And just to give them even more of a weight and a presence inside the room, they are not only this light gray, but a big strip of dark brown has been added so that they visually frame the room even more and give them even more of a presence. Over here we have a beautiful sconce that just gives you really ambient light, and it just is this like swirly design lamp that just stands freely and really illuminates this place. What I really love about these luxury hotels is that the lighting in the rooms is always made to make you feel really comfortable and to create a beautiful atmosphere that you can immerse yourself in. And this is something that I feel that often lacks in private homes, because in private homes you wouldn't just add sconces here and ambient lights there and indirect light here. And I feel like this is always a simple trick that can elevate your design. Over here we have a small table and a dark purple velvet chair as a little writing area. And another element that really takes inspiration from the history of Verona is the beautiful window shields. Let me show you. So a cool fact about Verona is that all of the streets are clad in pinkish marble, and that just gives you an absolutely incredible feeling when you walk through Verona. And here we can see the same marble imitated again to just take the history and integrate it into your design. Over here we have a walk-in closet that just makes your stay even more comfortable. As I told you before, the layout of this suite is very symmetrical, and you can just walk through the center from one room into the next. And now we will go inside the master bathroom that really again extends symmetrically. This bathroom is an eye-catcher by itself because we just have this absolutely beautiful dark green marble with a lot of strong veining. And the gigantic sink looks like it's just been carved out of a giant slab of marble, when in fact it actually consists of a few smaller pieces. And you just come in and you enter and you just have a perfect symmetrical composition. And the marble was even not just kept to the sink itself, but it actually extends as the floor as well. So this actually even just creates an even bigger statement as you come inside this piece. And this is without a doubt the focal point in this room. The rest of the master bathroom is clad in whiter marble. And we just have a really spacious design, a beautiful round bathtub that is white. Over here we have a toilet hiding, and here we have a shower hiding, and this bathroom really just finishes the tale of the story of living in former Italy. Now we are in the lower part of the Hotel Vista, and we're in the spa area, and you can just see how beautiful it is. You feel like you were just transported back in time to one of these Roman thermal spas and these thermal old springs. And they really managed to create this beautiful, unique, and very natural feeling atmosphere because of this beautiful wall. Here we have a lot of different slabs of stone, and you have like a waterfall coming down the stones. You have blue lights inside the swimming pool that just give it this turquoise, bright blue atmosphere. There's a fresco that imitates, I believe actually it's Romeo and Juliet, that are like standing under the moonlight. Yes, because we're in Verona, this is the city of Romeo and Juliet. So this is the foyer and entrance area. We have a lot of very muted colors, and you can see that the structure of the building is kept in this dark, almost blackish wood that has like a very shiny and liquor patina. So you feel this really like old history and the old atmosphere of the building. And to complement these dark straight angles and the structure, you have these loosely and really just organically shaped furniture placements and lounge areas. And over here we can see that we have yet again these really dark colors that reference Geoponte, and you have this burgundy dark red sofa and the upholstery, or in this again this shiny liquor sofa table. All of the colors are really muted, dark. You don't have too much light, so it's a very intimate atmosphere, and that's also something that the hotel, because it's so small, is trying to keep. We have a beautiful artwork with 2 floral plants, and this theme of the florals is used yet again over here in these beautiful vases, and we just have a lot of different layers of these florals being used. And because we don't have too much light here, and we just have these like little ambient indirect lightnings, or just these like touches and accents of light, you have all of these shiny materials that really just add a lot of reflections and give you a sense that the room really is living and breathing all of the light. Over here we will go now into a more private area. You can see that the door just beautifully frames the wall, and it goes all the way to the top just to create this really grand entrance feeling. And we have these beautiful door handles that remind you again of like this crystal glass and of the former times of Italy. And here we can see that it gets even more intimate, because we feel like we're really like in a small cabinet where intimate meetings are held, and we have all of these different layers of dark colors. So here again we have this like beautiful indigo velvety blue upholstery, or this like shiny burgundy red table. Also, a really cool trick that was added, that you almost feel like you're kind of in a mirrored cabinet inside here, because the walls are actually clad in mirror. And because of this, you don't really understand how big the dimensions of the space are. And my favorite part of this room, of course, is the beautiful old ceiling. You just have a lot of carved pieces of wood that are integrated like a puzzle. So today we looked at a very exquisite, intimate and small hotel named Hotel Vista, and we really saw just this beautiful mix of muted colors and respecting the old architecture while creating a modern masterpiece inside the design. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you next week.